Hi, my name is Andrew Phillips and I am a photographer. What initially got me into photography was illustration. I got my undergrad in illustration and I would photograph all the time for my reference. And with doing that, I began to say, you know, this is pretty good. I like doing it. I'm gonna keep on going forward with it because the images started to become more satisfactory to me. Being a photographer means to me, I have the ability to bring proof to a situation, bring proof to our time, bring proof to people, because a photograph usually doesn't lie. And I do mean usually because our technology now, with Photoshop and all these different things, you can manipulate things. I always go by this: the photographer is responsible for the content of his pictures. So from an upcoming show, the concept was developed actually in Hong Kong. I went to go shoot in Hong Kong for SCAD. Now, I wasn't primarily a street photographer, but they know I'm personable and I like to talk to people, so they were like, just go out there and do your thing. What I basically did was took the concept of my fashion and took it to the street. It translated pretty easily. The only thing that was different was it was on a whim. Everything was very spontaneous. So what I would do is I would say, okay, this person is walking up and what is it about them that's interesting? They're walking toward me. It's kind of like a catwalk, which is kind of like fashion, runway. So translating street photography to fashion photography to street photography wasn't that hard. It's actually more fun and a little bit more exciting. Before starting this project, my thesis, I knew nothing about street photography. After shooting more and more, I went back and looked at the people who did it before me, the old masters. You have William Klein, who brought fashion to the street. He was influenced by Bresson, Henri Cartier-Bresson. You have Vivian Mayer, somebody like that, who her work was never seen until she died, and they found her work inside of a thrift store or one of those bargain stores. Bringing this into the fine art world brings it back to what the old masters were doing back in the day, bringing it into the galleries like the MoMA and different galleries, other galleries and museums in New York. What I'm doing now is I'm a little bit more urban with it and I'm a little bit more modern with it. The tools I'm using are a little bit different. I'm shooting with the 4x5 camera. I'm shooting with the 120 camera. They shot with a 35mm Leica. So my tools are different. I'm different. I'm black. They were Jewish people. They were white people. They were getting different responses. So when you come to the show, I want to see the response that people have to me being able to capture these people. Ultimately, I'm shooting in another country. So that's another thing that plays into it. So for the show, my whole thing is I want people to look at it and say, wow, you captured this, the same thing that these people captured with a different tool, you being a different person, because that ultimately is one of the biggest things, and responding to that. And I want them to look at it and see if they feel like, man, this does feel like the old master's work, or this feels like a new version of the old master's work. So that's what this show is about. My thesis show is called Coded Lens, Life at 1/125th. It's at Mason Muir Fine Art Gallery here in Atlanta. Friday, February 15th, 7 to 10. Be there or be square. All right, you wanna do it again?
Do it again. Just go.
So my show's called Life at 1/125th. It's at Mason Muir Fine Art. Come check it out. It's Friday. Friday, February 15th. 7. It'll be up for a while. Take your time. Come see it. If you like my work, you can check it out at andrewmichaelphillips.com. You can check it out